Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today, wherever you are, for joining this WSET Virtual Open Day from Sake Novice to Expert, Student Stories by Natsuki Kikuya. I just wanted to introduce about WSET at the very beginning. For WSET, Wine and Spirit Education Trust is a world-leading provider of qualifications and courses in wine, spirits, beer, and sake. WSET has over 50 years experience in designing and delivering education to help both wine professionals and consumer enthusiasts to learn more about the wine, spirits, beer, and sake. You can take WSET qualifications in over 70 different countries through a network of more than 800 course providers. If you are interested in finding out more about the embark of the WSET journey, you can visit the wsetglobal.com, which will give you a QR code later on. Just wanted to give you a note that this webinar will be recorded and available to watch. I think it's on the online as well. And if you have any questions, please do not comment. There is a QR box on a separate area that you can put your questions in the QR box. Okay, so let me move on to the presentation. My name is Natsuki Kikuya. I am a WSET senior researcher working with sake, and I have been involved with WSET since 2012 to help develop the WSET Level 3 sake qualification with Anthony Moss MW. I'm also Sake Samurai that's being given a title from the Japanese government in 2015, and I'm originally from Japan. My connection to sake is my family background making sake in Akita Prefecture. Very happy to host you for this session today. So today, I will be mainly the two parts about WSET sake qualifications. We will give you some journey through the qualifications, how we've been going so far, as well as some details of each qualifications. And then the second bit will be alumni testimonials. So I have some individual career introduction that some people develop their sake careers within the WSET education and have some voice from them. So I'm happy to introduce that. And finally, we have some Q&A about the course itself. Starting with the WSET sake qualifications. So far, we have accumulated over 20,000 candidates all over the world. We have countless different APPs teaching WSET sake qualifications, but the top markets are currently USA, Japan, Hong Kong, and UK. But there are many other country providers in Asia, Europe, and so on. We started off with the WSET Level 3 awards in sake in 2013. These are available in English and traditional Chinese at the moment. And the aim at the very beginning was we wanted to make something that's quite advanced and challenging for the people who is aiming to be a leader in the sake industry to bring the sake category forward outside of Japan. So it's only available in English and Chinese language. So I think most of the people has taken the course in English. And I'll give you more details later on, but we aim to be the most advanced, quite challenging course, but it's very enjoyable as well. Then moving on to 2015, we had launched Level 1 as an introduction to sake. So these are available in multiple different languages, as it's stated, and available in wider countries as well. And it's been a question that there's no Level 2 available in between. So after 11 years, we launched last year, Level 2 awards in sake. So it's a bit typo. Level 2 award in sake is being launched, which is available currently in English and Japanese language. So in terms of these three levels, if you're wondering, where should I start? I have been often asked, do I have to start with level, or can I start with level 3? There's no prerequisite for any qualification. So even though that if you are taking a level 3 hours in sake, you are advised to have some level of sake beforehand. And if you're jumping into level 3, maybe better to have a certain amount of time for yourself to prepare your course. We will normally offer online preparation course and sending you the textbook, so you have some good time to prepare for that. But level 2, I think, would give you a very good starting point to study yourself. If you already have some information, you can, which would give you a roadmap to moving on to the level 3 hours in sake. So I will introduce from the level 1. So level 1 hour in sake is a great sake course to explore the world of sake. No prior information or no prior education of sake is needed to join this course. And it's normally holds in one day. So coming in the morning, you spend morning and afternoon taking the course. And at the end of the day, you have multiple choice questions, which it take about half an hour, 45 minutes with 30 different questions. And that's the end of the course. You should, it's everything done by one day. And I actually did a course in London for level 1 last week. And it's a really enjoyable course for me as well as a teacher, that really showcasing a diverse flavor profile of sake. We will introduce you very introductory information of the sake, introduction such as, ginjo style of sake, non-ginjo style of sake, and what's the big element that changes these two styles. Some diverse category like specialty style of sake, or, the student will learn the basic step of sake production. So it's a great courses to learn how to make sake and, know about this category. So this can be recommended to both professional people who wanted to understand the sake from the very beginning, and as well as the consumers and enthusiasts. The next level is level 2 hours in sake, which we just launched last year. This is one step up from level 1, that students would have a deeper knowledge, deeper understanding of sake, both sake production as well as tasting. And we will scratch a little bit of the details of how you aim each conclusion or process of the sake making. This typically takes about 2 to 3 days. In London, we normally host in 2 consecutive days, from morning to the afternoon, and then having the exam on the 3rd day. And some private studies are required to review what you learned in each day. And exam will consist of 50 multiple choice questions. And compared to level 1, you have extra bit, nearly, maybe double amount of samples to taste, and learn a little bit more about the world of details, like such as, different type of yeast, different type of fermentation starters, different type of, the terminologies that you'll be seeing in the label terms. And we also cover the kanji, the Japanese characters that's being stated on the labels. Level 3, this is the most advanced course that we currently offer, which, if you have the keywords, level 1 is about how to know about sake, and level 2 is about to understand. We say the level 3 is to be able to describe and explain. So we'll go further explanation of each single step choices, options as a producers, and almost you are in the eyes of the sake maker, and how each steps would affect to the style and quality of the sake. And in London, we offer level 3 in 4 consecutive days, with the 3 full days of teaching, and on the 4th day, we have the exam. But it's all depending on the area where you are. Some schools offer in multiple different weeks, and having quite many samples to taste over the course of 42 hours, including 22 private study hours. For the exam, for level 3, on top of the multiple choice questions, we offer 8 short written answer questions, which consist of your writing answers, as well as the 2 blind tasting of the sake. So in terms of the systematic approach to tasting, we introduce much more bits and details of appearance, nose, and palate. So the palate, we have, the sweetness, acidity, intensity, body, alcohol, finish. So all these deep details, students has to write a blind tasting and coming up with the conclusions, which is consist of finding identity of the sake or the quality assessment of the sake. It is challenging, but it's very fulfilling course. And I just ended another level 3 sake qualification teaching yesterday. And it's a really a big challenge for people who never familiarize yourself in Japan or sake, but it give you a really big detail of your eyes to be a professional on sake. And there are many sake qualifications out there. There's some qualifications came from Japanese institutions or some other private institutions, and they're all useful to learn about this category. And I think each qualification has a different focus and study. So I just wanted to highlight what are the main difference from other sake qualifications compared to WSET. So as you know, WSET is a quite international institution of sake, wine, spirits, beer categories. So having the kind of understanding of whole drink categories, it's very good. I think students can gain a quite good grasp on the quite holistic understanding of sake, where does sake fit in within this global drink industry. The second point I wanted to highlight is in order to develop skills in logical interpretation and critical thinking in the WSET, in line with the WSET education methods. So WSET education methods has this specific way of teaching, which make the students to really think. And especially when you are getting into the advanced courses like level 2 or level 3, we always often ask why? Can we explain the reason behind? So instead of just having a knowledge memorizing in your brain itself, it really make you think each options of the producer, how the producer leads to this the quality of the sake or style of the sake. And even when you're tasting each single glass, it give you a really good, I think, the angles to think. Where is this color coming from? Where is this aroma coming from? Where is this quality, textures, finish? All these elements are, related to the production or the choice of the raw ingredients. So I think it really opens up, widen your eyes every time you taste the sake. The third points that I want to highlight is this tasting element. WSET has their specific tasting approach, which called SAT, Systematic Approach to Tasting, which is one of our very strengths in the courses. So every single sample we taste, we use these systems, which is consist of appearance, nose, and palate, which I think give you a almost universal language for anybody, even if you never tried sake before, give you a system to taste. So you don't need the 10 years of experience to develop your palate. As long as you really follow the SAT and familiarize yourself, you can actually taste sake from day one and give your eye, especially if you're on level 3, to even assess the sake for its quality. So now I just wanted to introduce you a few alumni testimonials who has gone through the sake qualification in the past. So the first person is Tom Wilson, who had completed our course, Level 3 Sake, in 2017. If you are from London, I think you might already know the Kampai London is one of the leading sake brewery located in currently London Bridge, UK, very close to the University School in London. So Tom had taken this course, and his journey kind of started to launch his microbrewery Kampai London in Peckham, started with the Peckham, but they have been very successfully making a beautiful sake using, the London's, I think he really fitting into the wonderful craft brewing culture of London, along with other beer or gin makers in the neighborhood. So using a very traditional method and traditional kind of approach, we which he kind of learned at the WSET. He creates a wonderful creation of kanpai sake that suits in a local palate. And he mentioned that the WSET sake course gives a great launchpad of well-structured information for anybody interested in broadening their sake knowledge. And if you visit the tap room and the bar at the London Bridge, you can still see that he's putting WSET sake qualification on the wall, which makes me always smile. That even the sake producer, sake brewer himself had taken this course. Next person I wanted to highlight is Yuki no Ochiai. So she's based in Australia. She's a Japanese person. She's one of my sake samurai friends. That she had established her company, Deja Vu Sake Company, which is the one sake distributor in Sydney in 2013. And in order to kind of promote her business as well as being a leading role for the sake education in Australia, she had passed the level 3 sake qualification in 2015 and became the first WSET sake educator in Australia. And she continued to teach sake through her network with her importer distributor companies. And as the sake market needs continuous education to both trade and consumers, I think having a WSET educator background really helped her to develop her network of customer client base, and also bringing her role as not just a salesperson or the distributor owner, but as well but also the educator role within the industry. She gave a comment saying, "Sake journey in your own adventure is your own adventure and the journey. WSET give you a great base and direction of your journey. Your journey just start when you take WSET. Knowledge is the power and give you freedom to explore." And I think knowing that so many different countries, still sake is a mysterious drink, quite misunderstood category as well. So having WSET background to have a very standard knowledge, very core knowledge of the sake in a very classic manner, but at the same time, very global, within a very global network of WSET, I think that this can really help you to not your personal enthusiasm, but also to bring this category forward in each countries too. The final person I wanted to introduce you is Maxim Polkin. So he's from Russia originally, and he had been working in the one of the distributor in Russia called Simple, and he was head of Asian whiskey portfolio. But after completing the WSET Level 3 Sake Award, he is also qualified as a sake educator. And recently, in 2022, he moved to Japan, his next journey of the sake. So he developed a huge love and passion for sake. And that made himself to move to Japan in 2022 and started working with the sake shop and distributor called Imadeya. It locates in Tokyo. And not only working there as a salesperson, he actually helped to set up the WSET approved provider, the provided school in Tokyo called Terakoya Imadeya. And he's also the main educator at this school. So I think these three candidates are very sake focused, completely sake-minded careers and so on. But there are so many sommeliers, so many bartenders, so many chefs just gone through this level 3, level 2, level 1 sake qualifications and got these inspirations to their network, whether you are coming from wine background or food background or maybe just completely new to sake. I think taking the sake course would give you lots of inspirations to broaden your knowledge and, kind of give you a key to maybe yourself to the sake journey. So whether you are the enthusiast or just one consumer, or somebody who is considering to develop your career within the sake industry or drink industry, sake qualification is very, very beneficial. And he offered some comments saying WSET helps to build structured knowledge about sake and provides useful tools for its understanding and assessment, making the explanation of this unique world easier. As an internationally recognized qualification, it can help you with a career. WSET is a well-known brand, and both my students and I have found jobs because recruiters in hospitality and business owners are already familiar with the abbreviation and understanding that it signifies a high level of knowledge. So I think with the WSET qualification, it really strengthens your career background and inspire you. So I would like to, if possible, to open up the Q&A if anybody has any questions regarding to this course at all, or any comment.
Thanks, Natsuki. There's been a couple of questions with regards to the different study options, with a couple who are particularly interested in finding a bit more about gaining the level 1 and 2 online. And perhaps if you could just elaborate a little bit on the different study options for people, that would be really helpful.
Great. So for every levels, there is option to study in a classroom with educators or online courses. Although level 3 courses is a bit challenging because all these recommended sample numbers is more than 35 or 40 samples. So if many markets out there, it's quite difficult to actually get the samples that satisfies the recommended list of samples that we try to highlight different type of yeast strains, different type of koji, different type of aging, and so on. So what I often see in a different school is some APP schools offer in kind of in two ways. They would learn the theory parts online, but they'll gather in one day together, going through the tasting all together with the sample they selected. So that's one way of learning the level 3. But apart from that, level 1 and 2, they're both available completely online. You will still have to get samples by yourself though, which could be challenging for level 2, as some of the sample might be quite hard to get yourself in your market. But that's the course. But level 2 really give you a nice option to study on your own free time and more flexibility without traveling.
Thank you. Someone has asked, are there online courses for level 1 and 2? Are they worldwide?
Yes, it's a widely available. Although I'm not really sure how many languages being offered online for the level 1 and 2 either as well. But for English, yes, it's globally available.
Great. And we have another question. Do you cover sake geography in the courses?
Yes.
So different regions of Japan, sake from abroad, etc.
Yeah. So this geography of Japan, sake and the regionality, we cover on level 3 qualification sake, which we feature some of the recognizable prefectures like Hyogo, Kyoto, Niigata, Hiroshima. These quite highly regarded sake prefectures we highlight, and we talked about what are the things we should highlight. Is there any specific regional styles? Any specific thing that you could look for each regional style sake. But for level 1 and 2, unfortunately, we don't really cover much. Although for level 2, we explore some of the rice varieties that we mentioned, some of the regions that they are from. So that give you a quite nice guidance to kind of explore yourself. They're from these regions, and hence give you a kind of good ideas of some things about the regionality too. But as you might know, that the sake doesn't have a direct terroir itself. So yeah, some of the cultural factors, raw ingredients or some geographical factor that gives some significance in sake.
Thank you.
And we also pair level 1, level 2, level 3, all of them, we actually cover the pairing element and temperature service bits as well. So you get to taste some of the sake in different temperatures and see how that changes, your expression in your palate, and how the kind of basic technique of pairing with sake.
Great. Okay. And if anyone's, we've got a couple. Sarah asks, curious to find out more about the career path from passing the level 3 to becoming a WSET sake educator, especially when it comes to the mentioned people. I think from your testimonials who have founded the first school in their area. What would you recommend for anyone interested in finding out more about career pathways?
I think the best way to contact, I'm not really sure. I think there's online WSET website. There is a how to be an educator, educator WSET sign or sake or wine educator section. If you search for it, there's a contact that you can contact to show your interest. But best way to start is finding a school that's can support your career path. So could be the school that you take in the course, or could be wherever that you feel more convenient to work with. Best ways to reach out to them, showcasing that I'm interested in this career. And if each school is happy to support you or encourage you to be an educator, they could contact us, the WCT, directly, showcasing when will be the educator training program. So every educator for sake supposed to take a level 3 supposed to pass the level 3 sake qualification, as well as completing educator training program. So that's the path that you I would recommend for you to go through. If you wanted to set up your school as well for your own market, if there's no school in your market and you wanted to start your own WSET school, that's another part that you can actually search online. So it's how to start the APP. So APP is the approved program provider for WSET. So you have to register yourself as APP, one of the APP school, and put yourself as an educator. So that's extra work to do to reach out to them, but that's also an option too. And there's another question. Which one should I go first? Should I go to is there an all-time favorite must-try sake? It's quite hard to find one style that really, but recently, I think I'm quite enjoying to explore the different type of sparkling sake category. It's quite youngest category, and lots of new people are exploring and making a new style of sake. So if you find any interesting sparkling sake, please let me know. That's my favorite category these days, because it's getting warmer outside in London, and I can't wait to have the spring summer time coming. The next questions, are there any aroma kit for sake? Yes, so unfortunately there is no one sake aroma kit that I can recommend. I was actually in the process of developing it at the very beginning stage, but we kind of gave up, unfortunately. But if you actually try to search for either National Research Institute of Brewing of Japan, that's the Japanese Government Research Institute, or the Brewing Society of Japan, they do have some off-flavor kit or some sample kit that you can do a smelling test as well. So that there are some nice equipments and tools, but I'm not really sure if these things are available online, unfortunately. And what current schools are available in the US, there are actually a bunch, depending on which state. So the best thing is we will show you the, what I'm showing you next slide is sorry, go back and forth. There is a QR code that you can scan, and this can tell you where you can find out more about the study. And if you search for the school nearby, you can actually find out which school is located in the USA and so on. The next question, the final question is, do you provide guided tasting notes and we'll give it confidently assess sake quality by the end? For level 3, yes. So we will give you the quality assessment criteria, how to assess the quality of the sake. Level 2 is a little bit more kind of entry level way of talking about the quality, but every level we do their own, we introduce our systematic approach to tasting. So the educator will guide you through. But for the quality assessment, you want to take the level 3 sake qualification. And the next available course dates, how soon need to register. Normally the registration, you have to register depending on the course, but level 3, 1 month in advance. So you have enough time to study online preparation course as well as reading a textbook. But level 1 and 2 should be slightly shorter, but better to allow you to give a couple weeks at least to prepare yourself and do some bit of research. Level 1, just join probably a week before something that they'll have the deadline. So try to follow the schools. Again, try to follow this Q&A for where to study, and each school will give you a deadline for each dates as well. Okay, so I believe this is the end of question. So what I wanted to show you now is this exciting thing that if you wanted to win any level 1 sake, level 1 course, so can be actually any other category, can be wine or beer, you can win a level 1 course. So make sure you register or you draw a win. So which you can just simply scan here and register. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining today. And there is a poll that just came out with how you liked the course, the session today. And even though it was a very short time, it was wonderful to present sake course, and hopefully you can continue your sake education and your journey to sake. Thank you so much for joining today. Oh, there's one more poll coming. Sorry. There's 2 polls, yeah, with a feedback and then how you liked it. So before going, please make sure you vote for the poll. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Have a good day and goodbye.